Okay, this is me, Christopher Hartley, checking out Stuart Coves' Dive with the Sharks at Atlantis with helmets. A young girl went with me. It turned out my nephew wasn't able to go because they heard him say something about he once upon a time had a inhaler because he had an allergy to dust, and so they wouldn't let him go. So I went instead, and he ended up being cameraman, so it worked out just fine. This is really quite interesting how they do the helmets. They don't use hoses, they have a tank on the back. And what's interesting is they put the helmet on before they even connect the air. There's the guy getting the hose ready. They put the helmet on without any air, and then they connect up the hose and adjust it while you're waiting. There you go, plugged in. Now he turns on the air, and down you go. There we are at the bottom of the ladder. Sharks galore. And they're not just nurse sharks, they're reef sharks and I believe a lemon shark. He's adjusting my air to get it just right. Watches how many bubbles come out to judge it. I'm taking pictures. The grandparents had sent their 12 or 14-year-old girl for a dive. They were watching through the window. You'll see them in a little while. She would have had to go alone if I didn't go. Anyway, I took some pictures of her and of her grandparents in the window. She had some sort of thing she was holding up to go in a contest of some type. I sent her the pictures, but I never found out whether she won. That's a reef shark. It was quite an interesting dive. There are the grandparents waving and giving the OK signal. They did quite a thorough briefing, much of it copied from my briefing. In fact, these helmets actually are a knockoff of what the Japanese built after I went to Japan and suggested that they not steal my helmet but try to take a French design, which I showed them, and make an open bottom helmet, and which they did, but their employees then ran off with the plans to the States, and next thing you know, helmets were springing up all over the place. All different modifications to get around patents. The one that I took to Japan was designed for NASA, and it had a neck ring around the bottom, which is what the deep sea divers use that work on oil rigs. And then a big dome type helmet, very much like the space helmet. I think the fellow was French. In fact, if you look at my channel, Dream Undersea Walk channel on YouTube, you'll see something there, a clip where the French designer brought me the helmet to test, and we took it to Rose Island and dove off my little Wahoo. He had an intercom in it too, which a lot of the helmets have nowadays. These particular ones do not. There's probably a good reason. I think they don't want to have any wires going to the surface that the sharks could get hung up in. That's probably why they're using tanks as well. You don't want hoses where a shark could snag it and yank your helmet. It's rather odd they have scuba divers to supervise the helmet divers. It seems a little silly. But then it is run by a scuba diving operation. There she's holding a sea urchin. I showed her to let it stay on your hand a long time. Eventually the suction cup legs will stick, and when you turn it upside down, it doesn't fall off, it sticks. There are little suction cups between the spines that hold on to your hand. I think they had a sea urchin and a starfish in there. By the way, you can see the shadow of the tube. That tube runs, we're walking under it right now. It's where the water slide that goes from this, I forgot what they call it. It's a water slide that runs down, and the tube runs right through the shark tank. So we're actually in the tank that the tube runs through, but there's no real shots of it. But you can see the shadow of the tube on the bottom and the pillars that hold it in the middle. I think we're about to go up now. I've edited a lot of this footage, so this wasn't the full length of the dive. They've even copied my styrofoam ball to make the helmet lighter. I suppose I should feel complimented. And there she is, one happy camper. Very proud of herself. She survived. There she is. Yeah, right on. Here I come. Helmet off. Little drip in the face. Camera to the side. Bracket off the back. Thank you very much. Anyway, it was an interesting experience. I enjoyed it. Bye for now.